One issue that keeps showing up again and again when we talk about climate adaptation in cities is flooding. But here's the reality. The flooding problem isn't just about heavy rainfall, but more a problem of how we design our urban environments. And one practical solution to this problem is where sustainable drainage systems come in. It has proven many times to be a natural way to absorb water and reduce water runoffs in many towns and cities across the globe. So you might want to ask, what are sustainable drainage systems, or how are they different from the traditional drainage systems and water canals we are used to? To answer that, sustainable drainage systems are designed to mimic natural water processes by slowing down, storing, and filtering rainwater instead of simply pushing water away through pipes. But even with the ability of sustainable drainage systems to solve urban flooding problems, many sustainable drainage systems projects fail, not necessarily because the idea is flawed, but because of poor design, planning, and maintenance. So, in this video, I'll walk you through 5 critical best practices that make any sustainable drainage systems work in the real world. If you do apply these best practices, they are proven to work well and offer the best outcomes for tackling urban flooding problems anywhere in the world. To start with, there is a compulsory need for conducting a site-specific hydrological analysis, a local location-based study, as no one location hydrological solution fits all. This step is mostly overlooked but is highly inevitable for a successful installation program. You must understand your site before you design anything. Sustainable drainage systems is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Assessment of important parameters such as soil permeability, can water infiltrate or not, groundwater levels, rainfall intensity and patterns, site slope and topography are a must-do. For example, in a permeable soil site, infiltration systems like soakaways do work well, but for a clay-heavy soil area, you'll need attenuation systems like detention basins. To skip this step is to risk a system failure, waterlogging, or even structural damage. One last thing to note here is that this design must be data-driven and not assumption-based or assumption-driven. Secondly, you must prioritize using the source control approach. One of the core principles of sustainable drainage systems is this: you should manage water as close as possible to where it falls. This is called source control. So instead of channeling water away quickly, you should rather capture it locally, slow it down, let it infiltrate or evaporate. Examples of this approach would be to invest in green roofs, permeable pavements, rainwater gardens, or swales. This matters critically because it helps reduce pressure on drainage networks, minimize flood risk downstream, and improves water quality of the area through natural filtration. This is how sustainable drainage solutions shifts from just a drainage system to ecosystem-based solutions. Another best practice to note is to design for the full management train. A successful sustainable drainage system is not just a feature in the landscape. Rather, it's a connected system of water-absorbing trenches that helps to progressively sink surface water that could have easily caused area flooding. This is known as the management train approach, where water passes through multiple stages, and as it moves from one to another, water volumes are drastically lowered. Absorption layers could include source control, for example, green roofs, then site control, for example, swales, basins, and regional control, for example, wetlands, ponds. Each stage slows water further, removes pollutants, and reduces peak flows. The idea of this multi-layer system is that if one component fails, the system still works because other very important to note here is that resilience in sustainable drainage system design comes from redundancy and layering, not in a single solution. Sitting at number 4 is that you must plan for long-term maintenance from day one. Here is another point where many sustainable drainage system projects fail. They are installed and then neglected. Proper maintenance structures and responsibilities are not put in place after installation. It is important to consider costs for regular maintenance and inspection, vegetation management, sediment removal, or debris clearing. These activities, timing, and personnel cost must be factored into the planning of the program, without which the drainage systems will clog, storage capacity reduced, and the flood risk problem returns. Sustainable drainage systems are not fit and forget systems. In the UK, poor maintenance has been a key reason why some sustainable drainage systems underperform, so the best practice would be to assign clear ownership, local authority, developer, or community, build maintenance costs into project planning, and continuous refurbishing of failing systems throughout the project lifetime. Number 5 and the last is to integrate sustainable drainage systems into urban design, not as an afterthought. Actually, the most successful sustainable drainage systems are not hidden underground. They are visible, functional, and multi-purpose, connecting with nature-based solutions, helping to enhance urban aesthetics, create biodiversity habitats, provide recreational spaces, and improve mental well-being of local people. I would like you to think of sustainable drainage systems not as complex infrastructures, but as a beneficial urban assets, a must-have for growing resilience in growing urban towns and cities. So, if you remember nothing else, do remember this. Successful sustainable drainage systems installations are not just about drainages. They are about systems thinking, long-term planning, and working collaboratively with nature, not against it. As climate impacts intensify, especially flooding for coastal regions, sustainable drainage systems will become not just an option, but a necessity. If you found this valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Climate Professional, where we turn climate knowledge into real-world action.